Go, we're live.
Hey, we are
Hey,
live on Facebook, and I like to, as always, say, Facebook family, you want to know something? I just feel so comfortable coming on every Monday morning at 10 o'clock to 10:30 with Pop Bonds Health and Community Tips for the week. And as always, I am not here by myself. I have Miss Angela Winston, who is the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of New Horizons Behavior Health. We also have Miss Susan Gallagher, the girl with the blue glasses on. I don't see Dr. Vickers on the screen, but I do see Mr. Brad Bryant, who's one of our special guests. And Dr. Vickers, I think we were having technical problems with Dr. Vickers. And so, Harry, would you call Dr. Vickers for me and try to talk her in for me?
Can she hear us? Can we hear her?
I'm not
Okay, I
sure.
just don't see your picture though, Dr. Vickers.
Yeah, you have to share. You have to share your video.
video.
I was sharing just a few moments ago. I'll try again.
And meanwhile, while we're waiting for Dr. Vickers to come on, I'm gonna and what I said, this is such a joy coming to you all every Monday morning at 10 a.m. with New Horizons Behavior Health, fantastic organization, Tree of Life Healthcare, Miss Susan Gallagher, and we have two special guests. And so I'm going to pass the baton to Miss Andrea Winston, who was my boss many eons ago at New Horizons Behavior Health. Andrea?
Yes, sir. Good morning, everybody. It is a wonderful morning. I hope that everybody enjoyed wonderful morsels of food during the Thanksgiving holiday, and we're blessed to be in the wonderful company and of friends and family. We really appreciate Pops for this show. There's a lot that goes on into this show. Pops is a stickler. He has us all up at about 5:45 in the morning. We have formation at 6, and then we get a little snack, and then we review the content for the show. So we just didn't just fumble into this. So he's very serious about this. So we've been up for a while preparing. So I'm really glad to see everybody, and like he calls it, edutainment.
Yes,
We have a good time here, but we also want to bring information to you, and just really glad to be here. So now I'm going to throw the baton to Susan Gallagher. She's also my colleague here at New Horizons. Susan is looking good this morning again, always representing with her signature blue glasses.
My blue glasses, yes.
Yeah, so how was your holiday, Susan?
It was so wonderful. We got the house all decorated for Christmas, had a wonderful meal with my daughter and I. We're socially distancing for Thanksgiving, so we spoke to everybody on the phone and wished them all a happy Thanksgiving. And one of my sisters, her birthday was the day after Thanksgiving, so we had a double celebration. We had a Thanksgiving holiday and a 59th birthday.
Ooh,
And yet,
wow.
my younger sisters, I hate to admit it.
And now I have my distinct pleasure of introducing someone I've known for a long time. And he's going to tell you, he and Dr. Vickers Ward are going to tell you about a scholarship program that is definitely a blessing for families, but not only for families, for communities. And so I'm going to have Brad just take a little bit of time to tell everybody about yourself, and then we'll go into the marvelous PowerPoint presentation to tell our community just what a marvelous scholarship program is available. So, Mr. Brad Bryant.
Sure. Thanks, Pops. Thanks for having me on. I'm actually in Tucker, Georgia, so just a little ways up the road from Columbus, but it's a pleasure to be with you this morning. What would you like to know about me? Well, I had a great Thanksgiving. We were down at the beach. So
oh, wow.
when Pops was talking about this being a liftoff, I actually watched one of the Falcon 9 rockets lift off. So
Wow.
so y'all did a really nice job of recreating that. And we're going to talk in a few minutes about a liftoff for a lot of our Georgia students who have all of the rocket fuel they need. They just need adults in the community to help them get off of the launch pad and up into the orbit that's going to make a wonderful Georgia for us deep into this century. But the things I'm most proud of, I've been married 45 years now, met my wife at Presbyterian College, which is a great little liberal arts college in Clinton, South Carolina. Went to Mercer Law School, so had a chance to spend some quality time there. Worked for a couple of years with a federal judge in Macon who shared the Middle District of Georgia with the late Judge Elliott, who was just a wonderful resource for the Southwest Georgia. And came back and ran for the DeKalb County School Board, did 12 years there, did 8 years on the State Board of Education. And then my wife said if I was going to do all that volunteer work, I needed to find some way to get a little bit of money. So I moved over into the actual practicing side of education, a place I never thought I would be. And about 8 years ago, Governor Dill asked me if I would step over to Georgia Student Finance Authority, which most of y'all would be familiar with. It runs the Hope Scholarship Program. Mm-hmm. And so REACH was kind of born out of that scholarship family, and is our state's needs-based scholarship program at this point in Georgia's history. So have 2 children, 2 grandchildren, just enjoying what I get to do, and so thrilled that I got to meet Pops a number of years ago as we were really trying to launch this in the River Valley area.
All right, well, Brad,
fantastic.
Yeah, it's fascinating. He's done. We're trying to still get Dr. Vickers Ward. Just give me a minute.
You'll get her going in just a minute.
Yeah, Pops is multitasking
That's
here.
right.
It looks like he's got 2 phones and a laptop going.
That's exactly right. Harry?
That's what keeps us young.
It does. It
You know?
does. It's amazing what we can do with technology and how we can be so interconnected. You're in Tucker, Georgia. We're down here in Columbus, Georgia. But we're all in the same Facebook Live chat room. Just an amazing, amazing thing technology is.
And so you were talking about the need-based scholarship. You said it was called the REACH?
Yeah, it's REACH Georgia, and it's realizing educational achievement can happen. And so you know we can get into that in just a little bit. But one of our critical partners that we're trying to get on the phone is Dr. Vickers Ward with Muskogee County School District, which has just been a phenomenal partner. And shout out to Superintendent Lewis and the work that he's done. And really, I mentioned the region, which is of as great an importance to me as Muskogee and Columbus, because Columbus is the hub of activity that leads into that whole river valley. And so it's been important that we have had strong partnership with Muskogee County Schools, but really where a lot of the fun has been is watching some of these smaller school districts that don't have the resources that we have in Atlanta or you have in Columbus really start to be able to invest in their own students. And that's where Pops has been so helpful, is just that while he casts a shadow that's fairly large over Columbus, that shadow does extend out in, all the way to Dooley County on the and Crisp County on the east side, So.
Sure.
Now, guess what? Now, Harry, with all his technological genius, now, what he's doing, Andrea, we can't get Dr. Vickers Ward, but he's done a conference call. So now Dr. Vickers Ward can hear us, and Harry said to hold this to the computer so she can speak. Dr. Vickers Ward, are you there?
I am here.
Can y'all hear Dr. Vickers Ward?
Do you have your phone on speaker, Pops?
I got it on speaker.
Okay.
Dr. Vickers, can you hear her? Dr. Vickers would say something, please. Hello? Well,
We had her a second ago, but it don't hear her now.
Uh-uh.
well, let's stop.
Give me her, what's her number? Well, no, you don't give out the number. Do you know, you have her number, Susan?
No, I do not, because I could put her on my
Okay,
office
Harry.
speakerphone.
Yeah, because I have a speakerphone.
I'm here.
Um,
Harry?
Pops,
Harry? Yes?
she can call on my number.
Listen, have Dr. Vickers Ward call. Whose number?
Call 706.
Hold on for a minute. Say something, Dr. Vickers Ward. Can you hear her? Say it again.
I can hear her.
Can you hear her?
That's better.
Can y'all hear her?
Yes.
A little bit.
Would it be better if we had her call
Susan,
Andrea's number or Susan's number?
yes.
Right.
Okay, better yet. Dr. Ward, call this number. Hold on for a minute. Susan,
706
706
596
596
5517.
5517.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. 706-596-5517.
That's correct.
Right. And I'll put her on speakerphone.
Yeah, because Susan could turn her speakerphone. Susan could turn her
Good morning.
speakerphone up.
Oh, hold on. Okay, why is it not? Let me let it ring again.
Do you have your phone forwarded?
No, I do not.
Okay, just checking.
Have her call again. Here, okay. Here she comes across. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to put you on speaker. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay,
Perfect. Thank you.
can y'all hear?
Say something, Dr.
Morning
Vickers Ward.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much better, much better.
Okay. Okay.
And
Much
you can turn
better.
you can turn your volume up, Susan.
I turned it's up all the way.
Okay.
See, Facebook family, no matter what the technological differences may be or difficulties, no matter if we have 5, 10, 15 Murphy's Laws knocking on the door, it will not stop.
Yeah.
That's right.
Community
Yeah,
but we are a determined group to entertain you every Monday. And so we're
But-
doing that. So Dr. Vickers Ward, take about a minute to tell everybody who you are and what you're doing.
Did you hear that, ma'am?
Okay, yes. Good morning again, everyone. I am Dr. Angela Vickers Ward, Chief Student Service Officer for Muskogee County School District. Basically, I work for children. I am a service leader, and we try to find ways to ensure that all of our children are healthy, that they are safe, and able to learn. And I'm really excited this morning to be here to talk about REACH today. So that's just a little bit about what I do in the Muskogee County School District related to children. Anything related to children, I am here to service and help the children and the families.
And we are so happy to have Dr. Angela Vickers Ward here. I've had extensive conversations with Dr. Ward. Her heart, in fact, she's got 5 hearts for the children of Muskogee County. And so now we've got the dynamic duo, Dr. Vickers Ward and Brad Bryant, who are going to tell us all about the REACH program. But first, let me just say this here. I feel so good about this REACH program. Of all this, and it's not to be interpreted as bragging, but God has placed me in a position to do so much in the 14 years I've been on council. And one of the things, of the many things, is the REACH, bringing the REACH scholarship program to Muskogee County and the Veterans Day Parade. Highlights things that when I'm 90, good Lord willing, good Lord blesses me, I'll be able to think back on it and just thank the good Lord for being a conduit or something like that. And so Brad Bryant and Sarah Neely, Dr. Vickers Ward, this is such a blessing for the Muskogee County School District and the many marvelous students that are here. And so, Brad, I'm going to open it up to you because you have the PowerPoint presentation. The way we do the show now, if you want to make a comment, you just mention the person's name, like Pops, and I'll stop, or whoever stopped, and you can make your comment. So that's the way. It's a very easy, relaxed show. We cut up and have a whole bunch of fun and laugh, as well as we educate, and inform. And so, Brad, the ball is in your court. You got the PowerPoint presentation.
I do. Well, thanks, and I'll go ahead and try to share it. I will say the one downside of this Facebook Live today is that you have to look at two old guys and Pops and me, and you don't get to see the youngest member of our team, and Dr. Vickers Ward. So you'll have to have her back on the show just for compensation, you know. So let's see if I can share the screen. So can everybody see the slides that are up?
Yes, we can.
Okay, very good. Well, then that's a major accomplishment. My work is done. I've been able to pull off the technology on something other than Zoom. Well, as I was talking a little bit earlier, in 2012, Governor Deal recognized that we had invested a lot of money and resources in the Hope Scholarship Program. And right now, this is a great thing for all Georgians to talk about, is we have now invested over $12 billion with a B dollars in Georgia's youth through the Hope Scholarship Program. And that has impacted right now over 2 million Georgia students. And so what Governor Deal and other leaders within the General Assembly saw was that there was a gap, and that gap was in our needs-based scholarship program. So when you think about Hope, it's merit-based. That means you have to do certain things to earn the scholarship. And it does not take into account socioeconomic status, geography. It's just if you make the grades, you qualify for Hope, and then it's up to you to keep that. The needs-based program really showed that we had a lot of students that could do the work, but they still had funding gaps, and they still needed, if they were first generation, they still needed supports that would help them move from high school, where they had seen success, into a post-secondary environment. And when I say college and post-secondary, I want you to know that includes our great technical colleges, so Columbus Tech. It includes our great university system of Georgia schools like Columbus State, and it includes our Hope-eligible independent colleges, so LaGrange College to your north or Andrew College to your south, as two examples. And so what Governor Deal did was take a little bit of time to research it and found that Florida had a really good program. And what it did was it took students that were not in their senior year, which is when most of us think about a scholarship being granted, but really said to do the work to create a launch pad, since we're using the rocket analogy today, a launch pad to get these students ready for liftoff. We had to start much earlier in their lives. And so REACH actually asked rising 8th graders to fill out an application after they have been either nominated by a member of the school, nominated by a member of the community, nominated by a family member. They fill out an application that, working closely with our school systems like Muskogee. What they do is they take those applications and they winnow those down to a number that can be interviewed. So we have students that are interviewed, and these students basically get to tell a team of community leaders their story and why they believe that college is something that they want to aspire to in the future. And it's been just fairly phenomenal to hear not only the students' versions of the interview, because as you can imagine, if you're a 12 or 13-year-old sitting in front of a group of adults, it can be quite intimidating. But even more incredible have been the stories of these interview members who have said, one of my dear friends retired from DeKalb schools after 40 years, and he had been retired 10 or 15 years. And he said, Brad, I was giddy the night before I did the interviews, because just hearing these students' stories, their hopes, what they want to do in life is something that is such a life-affirming thing. So as you can see on the screen, our mission is to ensure that Georgia's low-income, academically promising students have that academic, social, and financial support that will allow them to enter into a Georgia Hope eligible institution, because we want to keep our talent in Georgia. We want them to come back to work within the River Valley and within Columbus. Currently, we're in 154 systems. That should expand to about 164 by the end of this calendar year. We will have served 3,000 students through Georgia. And what's really incredible about the program for me is that it's a public-private, state-local partnership. And by that, I mean that what we're looking for, what we believe is that for a community to be invested in its students, it has to have a little bit of skin in the game. And
Right.
that is not to say that they have to have all of the skin in the game, because we've got some very, very poor communities that don't have the resource to do that. But we're working with the General Assembly. They have been so gracious in appropriating funds each year to support the program. And then what we've done is we've looked at the relative wealth of the school system or the community. And in Muskogee, what we have, the formula is that for every $2,000 that the Muskogee County School District, and basically it's the community that supports Muskogee County schools, the state will put in $8,000 to create a $10,000 scholarship for a Muskogee County 8th grader.
Wow.
And so currently we have 32 REACH scholars. And when I first met Pops was in, I think the summer of 2016, as we were working to put this together.
Exactly.
And so that means that Columbus, with an investment of about $60,000 so far, has brought $320,000 worth of scholarship to your community, which I think is a pretty incredible
Now, isn't
return.
that awesome? Right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, yes, I mean, it's a great return on the money.
Right.
And
Where can you get something like that? Where you can get the state to contribute? That's 4 times what the community comes up with. And so the one thing that I liked about this scholarship when I first saw it was the fact that it was needs-based. That's one. And secondly, just Governor Deal, and I congratulated his wife when she first came to the first signing, that this is a gift to each community that will be bold enough to have confidence and hope for their students to jump on this bandwagon and raise the money. Look, to get 4 times, you can't beat something like that.
That's phenomenal.
And what's been inspiring to me, Pops, is that it's not only been the students that have actually received the scholarships, but the conversation that goes on in a church on a Sunday morning or on a Wednesday evening, that goes on within the schoolhouse at PTA meetings, is you start to see this have kind of a infectious and viral approach to learning in general. And we've even seen instances where a 13-year-old scholar will get their mom or their dad so excited about going back to school that we've seen this be intergenerational. So that you know, a mom or dad might have gone to college and then needed to drop out because of life occurred, and now they're at a place where they can go back and go to one of our technical colleges or go to one of our state schools and add credit hours. And you know, you're a lifelong learner, Pops, and I try to be in what I do. And I just think that the healthiest version of ourselves is, you know, they say if you're green, you're growing. And I just think that this is an opportunity to have more green within Georgia, you know, rather than those things that divide us. So,
And you want to know something, and that is so correct. And I am just so excited, because soon you're going to be hitting on a topic that I just know that Dr. Vickers Ward is going to jump in there real quick on when you start talking about how this program mentors and really encourages these students, kind of like wraparound care. When
Yes.
we talk about wraparound care for an individual,
Yes.
it covers the totality of a person. And so
Yeah,
this is going to be exciting.
Yes. So if you think about it, we have some communities in Georgia where only 1 out of 10 of the adults has a 2 or 4 year degree. So that means that these students are going to run into 9 individuals that have never had a college experience. And so part of the secret sauce of this of this program has been that it has a mentoring component that I'll let Dr. Vickers Ward talk about, but also an academic coaching. So you've got great school folks, counselors, graduation coaches that are working with these students on a regular basis all the way from their 8th grade year to their graduation from high school to help them take the courses that they need to be successful. And then you've got this mentor component that puts another caring adult in addition to a family member or a teacher walking side by side with them. And this has been exciting for me because it's a passion for Dr. Vickers Ward. And you want to talk a little bit about that, Angela?
And Brad, before Dr. Ward gets on, I like the way you phrase that. That mentoring is the secret sauce. Now, everybody can identify with that through McDonald's, but Dr. Vickers Ward, I know this is the secret sauce that you like to talk about. So just tell our viewing audiences about this secret sauce.
I'll tell you that I know that our community loves our children enough to invest in them, and they can invest in them through mentoring. As a first-generation college student myself, I had the opportunity of wonderful mentors through my life. And when we invest in the children, we invest in their future, which affects generations to come. It also affects this community, and it builds on the already love that we have for what we do day to day. I am reminiscent of my grandmother, who truly taught me that in order to do well in life, you must continue to give back. And we also must continue to ensure that our word is our bond. Our mentors will invest in our children through their passion, through their willingness to interact with them on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. We're looking for mentors who have a background that includes college experience, military experience, just the entrepreneurship, and just a willingness to show that they care about children. Basically, that they're compassionate enough to ensure that the well-being of that child is geared toward success. And they can do that by spending time in mentoring these children that we have. We have 32 students. We currently have a few mentors. We need more. And yes, this is my passion. It's helping children, reaching back, and showing them the love that we have for them. And I know that our community has done that in the past, will continue to do that. And I'm just excited to be here to share the knowledge about REACH.
And Dr. Vickers, one of the things that that you highlighted with your grandmother, you know how important throughout my life, the example my grandmother gave and the foundation that she put in me. And one thing I like to tell a lot of people is this here. My grandmother instilled so much in me because she did not look or be concerned about her ability. It was her availability to spend time, to help me and my brothers and sisters dream, to find help for us. So we're just looking for mentors. Just come as you are. Like the ministers up there in the front of the church. I want to hear some amens now from the ministers.
Amen for me.
Amen. Amen.
Come on, I want you come as you are. The bottom line is they need to come as they are to whatever abilities that they can bring to help some of our students that are in our schools.
I knew that story that she shared would resonate with you, Pops.
Well,
So true.
and
No,
here's
seriously.
some really good news on the mentoring front, because we've been working. There's a larger group, but REACH has been a part of it. We've been working for a couple of years now on a statewide affiliate of the Mentor, which is the national organization that supports mentoring. Y'all may be familiar with My Brother's Keeper. That was a President Obama initiative. And so Mentor was the group that he called upon to lead that effort. So we've been working with J.W. Fanning Institute at University of Georgia, and we are right at the cusp. Maybe the Christmas present for me this year is that we'll be able to officially launch Mentor Georgia in January with a full-time first executive director. And so I think where that's going to help us at Reach is that rather than this being a burden or an opportunity that is solely owned by Dr. Vickers Ward, she'll have some support with the training, with the messaging, with the research, things so that we can deliver to all of our Reach locations the highest quality mentoring. And, you know, matching is so important in the work. And so that may be, as we get further into next year, that may be somebody that, Pops, you could get on with Dr. Vickers Ward, just to talk a little bit about what that might look like, because we can't have too many high quality mentors.
That's exactly right.
Wonderful idea.
Okay, can we go with the next slide?
Absolutely.
Well, I think we're touching on this. I will say, as I look at these slides, I'll say some things that we've been able to do. So if you think about that nose cone, again, staying with our rocket theme, is we started out with a small number of a school system. So we only had 5 to begin with. And so we're growing the number of high school graduates each year. But we now have 4 cohorts of graduates, about 288 students spread now in about 18 or 19 school districts. And I'm very pleased to report that by having the faith in these young people, we're seeing some of the fruits of that. And the students have finished their work with Hope eligible GPAs that on average are about a 3.3, which is great. Pops and I, if you put both of our GPAs together, we might have gotten to a 3.3 GPA. You know,
Amen to that.
Yeah,
Amen to that. The only thing I wanted was that sheepskin. Hand me that sheepskin. That was it. Right.
But what that means is for these students is that if they finish with a 3.0, then they're eligible for the Hope Scholarship. And since they're all low-income students, they're also eligible for Pell Grants. And for our listeners and for our for any other parents that have children that are approaching college, the words you want to put in your vocabulary are grant and scholarship. You want to stay away from student loan if you can help it. Great. And so the combined total of all of your Pell Grant, your Hope Scholarship, and your Reach Scholarship is that means you've got about $11,000 a year that you as a student have worked to create for yourself, and that's $11,000 less that you or your family have to come up with. And then a number of our Hope eligible institutions are helping match that because they want to invest in the right students, and and they want the students to look like the workforce that will be Georgia as we move deeper into this century. And so and these are community members that are selecting these students that often don't look like they do. So we're about 48% African American. We're about 26% white students, and we're about 22% Hispanic or Latino. And I think that qualifies us probably as the largest Latino scholarship program in the state of Georgia. But if you think about it, these are young people who are going to have the skills they need to be productive citizens within our community. And we have to be very patient, but good things come to people who are patient and who can wait, because we're starting with an 8th grader. And if they do everything right, that means the first time we're going to see them enter the workforce as a full-time member of the economic engine of this this state is going to be 10 years down the road. And so it's not like a widget where, you know, we put them on a assembly line and 5 minutes later we see the finished product. There's a lot of work that goes into this. And again, that just underscores the need for the mentors that are so critical.
And what I like about this, if the citizens of this community and the citizens throughout Georgia think about it, we want to have, this is really putting money in the bank when it comes to our economic growth, having these students stay in Georgia and help Georgia reap the benefits of their involvement in their lives. And that's really the cream on top of the cake right there.
Yes.
And so, Brad.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking through and seeing if we've missed anything.
Well, let me tell you that. Now, let me tell you what you did miss. You did miss, and it gives me an opportunity because I told you, I don't mind. I'm like the Temptation song, ain't too proud to beg. The bottom line is what helps this program is involvement into the community. And so we have to be about raising the funding for this program. And this is just the one thing, no donation is too small. I'll repeat that, no donation is too small. In order to kick this off the ground, we have to have the community support. When you figure that the state's going to quadruple exactly what this community is doing, it is a win-win. It's a win as far as that it's helping our students get a college education. Secondly, where it benefits, they're going to hopefully stay here in Georgia. So it's going to, in the long run, benefit the community in a huge way. And so one thing I like about being on Pop On Self and Community Tip for the Week program is that you can ask for money. You can ask people, and I would like for you to start out with that, Brad and Dr. Mitchell Vickers Ward, to start out with that. The Bible says you receive not because you ask not. And so that is a very true saying. You receive not because you ask not. There's nothing wrong with asking for funding about something that's to be good for the community here in Columbus, Georgia, and also good for Georgia as a whole. And so Brad and Dr. Mitchell Ward, you two tag team each other like they do in wrestling.
That's right. That's right. Well, and I'm so glad you touched on that because there has been probably no more prolific fundraiser in the history of America than Booker T. Washington. And he did a lot of the work very close to the Columbus area in terms of creating school opportunities for students that really had no, Black students that had no opportunities. And it became his life mission. And I want to just read what he said because you talked about begging, and he did an article that said that he was not a beggar. And he said what we all should aspire to is to.
Can't hear you, Brad.
Is that we should aspire to lose ourselves into a cause that is greater than we are. And I think that for me, this is one of the things that Reach allows us to do. We're planting seeds in students that will be long gone when they hit their prime of life. And and so we've done that. And then the other thing that we've really been able to accomplish, and I don't see this changing anytime in the future, is that 100% of any local donation that is given, whether it's $1 or whether it's $10,000, all stays with a scholarship. So there's no overhead that any contribution is supporting. This is all going to the bottom line of scholarships. And there are not that many charities or nonprofits that are out there that can lay claim to that. So I'm thrilled with that. And I'll let Dr. Vickers Ward talk a little bit about what she's doing at the local level. We're trying to build capacity, and she's doing a wonderful job of living into that.
She's doing a marvelous job. Dr. Vickers Ward? Doctor,
Can you hear me? Hello?
yes, sure can.
Okay. I would just like to add to what has already been shared is we have a few different programs that are scheduled now for our children, and that is on December 7th. Those children who are already REACH recipients will be having a reunion with their mentor. So we'll celebrate them on December 7th. And on December 14th, those new recipients will have a reception for them on December 14th. Truly looking forward to ensuring that they have a mentor at that ceremony for the students. We want to ensure that each of those students, again, have a mentor. I really have to stress that particular piece of it. Also, as Pop has shared, no funding is too small. If you have $20 or $25 and you would like to contribute that toward the REACH program, please do so. You can send your funds payable to Muskogee County School District REACH and mail that in to 2960 Macon Road, Columbus, Georgia, 31901. We are truly looking forward to ensuring that each one of these students have the funding, because it's an 80% return in investment for each one of these children. And they have the opportunity to go on to college and then come back into our community and then also pay it forward. I cannot stress that enough. Let's just be very bold, courageous, to ensure that each one of our children here have the opportunity to go off to school and come back. It builds the legacy and it continues it on into our future.
And if you're
marvelous.
And Pops, I just was going to add, if you're a technology entrepreneur like you are, and you and you enjoy paying online or you know, in a touchless, so if you don't want to spend the money on the stamp, you can go to the REACH Georgia website, which is reachga.org, and you can hit the donate button, and then there'll be a drop-down box that would allow you to ensure that any contribution you gave would go exclusively to Muskogee County. If you've got relatives that live in Stewart County, Clay County, Marion County, you can also drop down and you can give a little bit for them, because the strength of, I would argue that the strength of Columbus is going to be the strength of the larger region, and the strength of Georgia is going to be the strength of all of our regions working hand in glove with each other to support young people, so that their zip code doesn't dictate where they end up in life.
That is really good. We've got about about 2 minutes left. I want to thank Dr. Angela Vickers Ward, and let everyone know she has a heart, a 5 times heart for the children. And this is one program, the program that is definitely for the students in this community. I'd like to thank Brad for being where you're at and making something like this possible. For you and Sarah tagging me on the shoulder saying, we got this program, Pops. And I said, we need to get it in Muskogee County. Thank you for all that y'all have done.
Absolutely.
And you know, let me tell you something. I always say this here. We have got to support the things that are supporting our community. This REACH program is one. And then they've got New Horizons Behavioral Health and Trail Life Healthcare, 2 organizations that give of themselves. These organizations, they don't be looking at no pay. They're looking at helping the community. And so we really need to, and I tell everybody, we've got to help the organizations that are helping us. And so, Andrea, would you let everybody know how they can reach out to y'all? And also, by the way, that no donation is too small, and that volunteerism is what makes any organization thrive. So, Andrea, if you would do that, I'll appreciate that.
Sure. It's been a wonderful show this morning, Pops. Really thank our guests for all of their wonderful efforts. I love the logo of the program. It really speaks to what you're trying to do. And it's just so important that we push our children and help give them the proper support and resources to do well in higher education. And not only are you providing financial assistance, but the mentoring is just, I think who said that? The special sauce. We're gonna steal that from you all because we like
Well,
it.
and we
Special
made it,
sauce.
you know,
Yeah, I
Chick-fil-A,
used to say it's the sweet spot, but
Yeah,
now it's gonna be the special sauce. So
Well,
yeah, I think
and-
that is a magic combination right there, and I really love that. So of course, you know, Susan and I can be reached here at New Horizons at 706-596-5500. And Susan can give you our information on our website and our Facebook page.
Sure.
Susan?
Yes, you can visit our Facebook page. We're at New Horizons on Facebook. You can just do a search on it. We post our upcoming events and activities and some little important reminders about your mental health, because remember, it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay that way. And we
There
at
we
New
go.
Horizons are here to help you. As Ms. Winston said, our appointment line is 706-596-5500, and our website is www.nhbh.org. And you can find out all about our programs, our resources, our staff, our leadership on our website. So please come out and visit us and see what we're doing in the community.
Another organization is Tree of Life Healthcare. They extend, these two organizations just off the chain, so good for this community, and we've got to help them to continue helping us. And as I always say at the end of each program, until next time, please be good and kind to yourself because God loves you. Bye-bye now.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Dr. Vickers.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I'm going to hang up now.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.